Let me tell you guys a story. So a few days before Christmas, I was sitting at work on Facebook when I came across this post from a family-owned store in the next town over from us. This toy store actually just received a huge selection of Transformers from somebody who sold out their collection. They actually had a lot of cool things that came in from this person. Galaxy Force Thundercracker, Alternator Silver Streak, quite a few new things, the works. But one figure in particular really caught my eye. And it was in box. He told me the price he'd sell it to me for. I asked Kat if she'd run over to the next town over and grab it since she was going over there anyway. And when she got back to town, she handed me my card as well as this gigantic box. That's right, folks, you read the title correctly. Today we are taking a look at Transformers Armada Unicron. Now, I will say that this is not my first Unicron toy, as I also do have the Cybertron Deluxe and the Funko Pop version. And this was a very nice gift that Kid Convoy 82 sent over to me. But if I'm being honest, I've got to say, the big guy here is definitely my favorite Unicron figure. Never thought I'd be able to say I own an actual planet-turning Unicron, let alone this planet-turning Unicron. One thing to add on to the beginning story was that the guy said that it was open because it looked like one of the pieces of tape was broken, so essentially like open, but it still had the original twist ties on them. So near mint in box. But then when I brought the... Hello, Coco. Yes, baby. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Can you lay right here so I can keep going? Can you lay down right here, Coco? Lay down. Or sit right there. That works too. Anyway, when I was looking at the box after I got him, I looked over all the tape to see which one was busted to like try to open it up and look at the toy myself. But all of them were actually intact. So essentially, what I'm saying is I purchased a mint in box Unicron. What is my life? Alright, enough of the personal story. Let's have a look at this monster. This gigantic, basically a sphere, looks ferocious from all angles. Even with the spear not continuing fully around the back, it doesn't really bother me. It's 2024 now, and we've all seen this figure. We've either come to terms with it, or we've figured out a way to fix that problem by buying either a Studio One cell, or if you're fucking crazy enough, HasLab. Quick tangent for the HasLab though. Honestly, in comparison to the HasLab, this guy just looks a lot better in my opinion. Seeing when it was first revealed, sure, it was a spectacle. It was the biggest Transformer they've ever made, and it was a fan-backed product that you had to sign in to get in on and wait a while for it to even show up. But with those rose-tinted goggles off, and after seeing a bunch of reviews about him, it's a panelly mess. It can barely stand without the stand need to be plugged into him at all times. It's not my bag. It's not something that I really wanted to own. But this is. And let's get back talking about him. As you can see on his rings all the way around, we've got minicom ports all over the place. On both sides, no less. Is this silly? Yes, objectively. But that was Armada's whole thing, was minicons. So you know that they were going to include on one of the biggest Transformers of that line. He also has this one right in the middle here for Deaden to fit into. It kind of works, but unfortunately on mine it's really loose, so very easy to just knock them out. And obviously we know the really fun part when you squeeze the horns together, you get the... No. Moving on down below the mouth here, you've got 3 sets of missiles on each side of the planet mode. And you can take a little dead end and plug them into the little minicon port. Or any minicon really. They're like cyber keys. If you got one, the whole line can work. But you just plug them in, push it up. It can fire all 3, but mine likes to fire off one at a time. But that's pretty much it for the planet mode. This guy looks incredible and imposing, and I love him so much. You can definitely see why all of Cybertron definitely feared this guy. But here, we don't have to worry at all. See this Unicron? The Matrix. I possess that which you most fear. Now, if we could just get this... Come on. Just get the Matrix open.
You underestimate me. Time considered sparing the wretched planet. element.
That was crazy. The transformation on this guy is incredibly fun and gives way to this monstrous being. This devil of Cybertron. This multiversal singularity that cannot be destroyed. So let's take a look at how fun this silly little guy is. While not being my absolute biggest Transformer figure that I own, it is still a lot of fun to have this guy because it definitely is a product of its time. Being that it's from 2002 with the Armada era, they focused a lot on giving this guy a lot of gimmicks. But aside from the gimmicks, they didn't skimp on any of the detail that this guy should have. While it's not what the G1 character design looked like, it does look exactly how it showed from the Armada series. If you are looking for the G1 version of this figure though, you could always look to the 2010 version of this when they re-released it with the new head. I think the main gripe that I and most people have with this figure is the big planet kibble hanging off the back here. It's actually a lot more egregious with the character design on the show, but with the way that Brian actually has his, I actually like it. And this way you don't have to parts form like the instructions tell you to. But if you hate the planet kibble like that, you can just take it off, so no harm, no foul. Articulation-wise, he's got a great amount of it, to rival even some of the figures that are coming out today. You got pretty much everything that you need, including some articulation that some Titan class figures are missing, such as individually articulated fingers. If your Titan class figure can't do this, then get an upgrade kit. His head can turn his head can turn a good amount, but you do kind of have to pop it up off of this thing. That's because you have to lift it off of these two middle pieces for the light up eyes gimmick. Unfortunately, the batteries on mine are out, so a bit unfortunate there. But I'll replace the batteries at some point, maybe. But the light up feature that does work is his hand. Still don't know why his hand does this, but fun gimmick. Hey, it's Future Dakota. I forgot to even add this in, so I'm going to add this in before the end of the video. He does have one other gimmick, aside from you can find the missiles in robot mode, but I completely forgot about the chest missile. You just take a little dead end, his Unicron port, and you push. And as you can see, the chest opens and that missile fires out, so yeah. Quickly taking a look at his Minicon dead end, this guy is adorable. He's certainly come a long way from his Stunticon days. I actually prefer the other name that the later version of this toy came out with, which is Kranix. Plus it's better than the other name that the Japanese toy gives him, which is Bug.
No! Not Bug! Tremble!
Very easy transformation because he's a Minicon, but he's a fun little guy. And as Brian said, he's just a ball with a gun. Yeah. To make this whole review condensed down into one short sentence, this figure being 20 years old is incredibly fun, and I'm very lucky that I'm able to say that I have this in my collection. And judging from the other reviews of this figure, the masses love him. I mean, clearly this mold is so sought after because in total, this mold was released 8 different times. And one more quick comparison to the Cybertron version, it's just no contest. I honestly feel like this figure might make a good bludgeon. But yes, the Armada Supreme Class Unicron is supreme. Okay, that's been another review for me, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Finally getting stuff moving slowly but surely, but I think with getting this out, things can move forward. So again, thanks for watching. Until next time.